seen it at any other time this year, so don't expect EDER and LANDERTINGER to fade anytime soon. The question is, can Šipulin hang on to second place? He's only got 2 seconds to play with.
That's going to be an almighty battle for those second and third positions. And, well, I feel for Šipulin, it was just one mistake he made, and he was uncomfortable.
It's too easy, isn't it, Mike?
Well, maybe the need is, how do we make it harder for Martin FRA? Do we make the target smaller?
Absolutely fantastic shooting from Martin FRA. Number 8 in there is Šipulin, who came out in second place, but he's already given that away. I think he's now paying the price for staying with FOURCADE on that last lap. And of course, a miss from Šipulin means that he's had to do a penalty loop. And all those who come out, having hit the last 5 targets, just have that little burst of energy that comes from the brain rather than the body.
Yeah, going around that penalty loop, your whole race strategy has to change. Your thinking has to be adjusted. I think that was Thierry Dussert, former biathlete, very good biathlete through the 80s and 90s, running alongside. So it's gone a bit tactical. Svensson at the back just doesn't look his former self, Patrick, but he's a great finisher. Tim Burke's saying this is too slow and he's going the long way round. Love to see Tim take this third place.
Well, it's going to be a great climax for the minor placings. The win is secured, and I think it's a fitting end to the season, isn't it, Mike? It's been dominated by this man. He won the very first race of the season in Östersund. He had faded slightly around the Christmas period, but he's really done nothing wrong. I guess he was a little disappointed with the fact that he didn't go home with a sack full of gold from the World Championships. Tim Burke has gone down. Oh, that surely is going to put him out of a chance of taking a top 3, because that really does sap your energy. But credit to Tim, he's back on his feet. He's gone ahead of Svensson again. Slightly off the pace, number 13 is Evgeniy GARANICHEV, just ahead of Terje Bø, and behind him is that SUMANN FOURCADE. It is SUMANN FOURCADE, who I don't think is going to get on the podium for the second day in succession. It's all about the fight for second and third. Nice to see that Šipulin's hung on in there, nearest your camera, in the Russian colours, the blue and red. At the back of that group is still Svensson, who, despite the fact that he's very tired, is still the quickest sprinter in the field. But none of them are going to catch this man. FOURCADE over 30 seconds clear coming out of the range. It's going to be his 10th win of the season, his 19th podium. He takes his winning total to 23 World Cups, and he's still a young man. He is an astonishing talent. He, of course, won the World Cup last year, and he's wrapped it up very, very early this season as well. Big smiles in the French camp, and all they need to do now is bring their women up to the same sort of level. Well,
it's quite amazing. You mentioned his victories, well, only ahead of him in the grand picture of biathlon victories. Svensson with 31, Sven Fischer with 33, and Raphael Perret with 44. Then double it and a bit more, and you've got Bjorn Dahlen on his 93.
Yeah. Will Bjorn Dahlen come back next year? I guess he will, but what he's going to find difficult, Mike, is qualifying for the Norwegian team. We've got Christiansen coming through, we've got Johannes Bø coming through. They're all now capable of beating the grand man. And
Birkeland, there's so many. He has created this as such a strong sport in Norway. Bjorn Dahlen, they've all wanted to be Bjorn Dahlens, and the young guys have got a great momentum.
Well, the chasing group are getting closer and closer to that pack up front, so we could have, what's it going to be, a 9-way race for the second position here in Khanty-Mansijsk. This is going to be a thrilling finish, and just as the textbooks, just as it should have been scripted before the race started. SUMANN FOURCADE being told that his brother is up front, but also being told that that is for a podium finish, and I wonder whether he's going to make his move. Here he goes. He's gone wide, but not wide enough. Does incredibly well to stay on his feet, but that will have sapped his energy. He's ahead of Šipulin now, and SUMANN FOURCADE wanting to be on the podium for the second day in succession. Number 12 is Simon EDER, who's not been in the top 3 so far this year. He's got a personal best of 6th as well.
Well, SUMANN FOURCADE, he went into the deep snow, which is a lot slower on the wide side. He nearly got tripped up, but I think you're right. That would have zapped his energy massively, but maybe he'll attack again on this one.
Yeah, I'm not sure he picked his moment quite right. he was trying to Petter Northug to come off the flat and into the steep climb, but carrying as much momentum as he could. He just needed to be a fraction wider. SHIPULIN won't be a happy man either, because that will have broken his rhythm. Well, this reminds me of when Helena Ekholm won the individual here at the World Championships, and her coach Wolfgang Pichler ran up alongside her and said, all you have to do now is think about looking good. It's in the bag. She was over a minute clear, hitting 20 out of 20 in really strong wind conditions. But what about this for a feisty finish to the season? Just what we want. BURKE somehow has got back into the front of the chasers. The race for second is on. Will it be America? Will the Austrians, who have 2 in this group, Norway have 2 as well, France with Simon FOURCADE, whose brother's up front, and Anton SHIPULIN now, the only Russian in that chasing group. GARANICHEV hasn't quite been able to make contact. Great little burst of speed coming in from LANDERTINGER, and he's no slouch when he winds it up. A big man with big feet, and he's very, very quick over the closing stages. Svensson looks dead at the back of this one, but if he can just get to the top of the climb in contact, Svensson can show his power and speed over the closing stages. Meanwhile, up front, in the distance, out of sight, Martin FOURCADE wins the last race of the season. His 10th victory of the year. He takes his total of World Cup points to 1,265. There will be a slight deduction because they take away your 2 worst scores of the year, but it doesn't matter. He's got the crystal globe. He's got 5 crystal globes to take home with him, and of course he got a world title, the individual world title, not as many as he wanted. 5 medals from those world championships in Novo Mesto, and he can wait and he can wait and he can wait. He's got the luxury of time.
I was going to say, he needs to get across that line first. Well done, LANDERTINGER.
LANDERTINGER is going to take second place. Great burst of speed, and Svensson somehow digs deep to deny a podium finish to Tim Burke, who's in 4th. What a season Tim Burke's had. It's so difficult for the Americans, who are pretty much out of touch on the financial front, Mike. I think they're now pretty much on a level footing with Norway and Germany and Russia, but they haven't had the base of juniors to push the seniors. It's been the same team for decades.
And Tim Burke being led earlier, of course, by some past great names as well in the American team, but I think they've got the best energy, and who knows, medals hopefully on the menu for the Olympics in Sochi.
A top 10 finish for Michal SLESINGR to wrap up the season, finishing ahead of DERYZEMLYA of Ukraine, who's had a really good last third of the season. Good final term for him since the World Championships, where he was somewhat below par. MORAVEC will remember this season for his mass start victory in Oslo. He gets 12th today, which is a very respectable result, and he shot 17 out of 20. SUMANN started badly. Not sure what happened to SUMANN on the range. He missed 3 in total, and I think he missed early on, which means that he was out of contention early on. Here comes Christiansen, and number 16 is Arnt Pfeiffer, who was okay in Oslo, and he's done okay here, Arnt Pfeiffer. But don't forget, this is where he showed himself to be an incredible skier when he won the sprint world title. No one could touch him. And
last year, Patrick, Pfeiffer missing 4, and he finished second behind Svensson.
Well, they are out for the count, and who can blame them? 26 individual races, which all started on the 28th of November. Really 4 months of intense racing, and of course add in the relays, add in the selection races, add in the national championships. It's a brutally hard program, and somehow they survived. They've now got 8 months to recover. Some of them will head to the beach. The foolish ones, maybe, Mike, will be back out training over the next couple of weeks.
Well, I think light training just to unwind. The body does need to unwind it maybe for 10 days, 2 weeks. Terje Bø just looks totally, utterly nothing left in his body at all. He can't move at the moment.
Well, it's no surprise, because he missed so much training in the summer, and he missed so much of the early part of the season. So Terje Bø, I think if you'd said you can have a World Championship gold medal for the mass start, he would have bitten your hand off, because he wouldn't have been thinking along those lines. And of course he got a World Cup win the week after the events in Novo Mesto. Bjorndalen 25, 17 hits out of 20. Birnbacher 6 misses today for Birnbacher. Eric Lesser misses 7. So Germany, who showed pretty good form in Sochi and early on here in Khanty-Mansiysk, they've not managed to keep it going. Number 2, Emil Hegle Svensson. I wonder what's going on there. It was a big effort to get back into the top positions.
Franz Berger, race director, first to help Tarjei Bo. I thought there might be some medical.
Is that Tarjei Bo, not Svensson? I thought it was Svensson for a second.
Is it Svensson? It is Svensson.
Number 2 is Svensson.
Yeah, he's cold, and he really put a kick of pace in there. It did look like his roommate.
And FOURCADE really looks as though he's done nothing. You said earlier on in the season that FOURCADE is the best ever. Surely he's got some way to go to prove that, but he's got the potential to be the best ever.
But what he's done this season, it's the most competitive, I think, with there's so many big names landed at the moment, with Svensson, with Bjorndalen still here, and Tarjei Bo, and well, Johannes Bo isn't there yet, the younger Bo, but there's some big names around, with Birnbacher as well, Šipulin. Poor old Šipulin, I think you're right, that when he tried to stay with Martin FRA on the 4th rotation of 3Ks, it knackered him, his 8th position. Yeah, it cost him a podium finish. He finishes just 30 seconds behind. The top 5 places all hitting 19 out of 20. Simon FOURCADE missed twice and only finished 18 seconds adrift, so might well have produced the fastest ski time today. I think he has. Tarjei Bo, another man who skied well despite missing 2 targets. He finishes in 7th, ahead of Anton Šipulin. And wrapping it up today, Bergman in 29, and the local man, Makeyev of Russia, who has missed 5 targets, had all sorts of problems, 4:48 behind. And here are the top 10. FOURCADE on top again for the 10th time this season. He's he's over 300 points clear of everyone else in the World Cup standings. A fantastic achievement from him. Second place goes to Landertinger of Austria, his best of the year, and Emil Hegle Svensson in 3rd. Well, what a season that has just come to a close. Of course, there's plenty more sport to come on. Eurosport ski jumping coming on this afternoon. If you're watching in the UK, there will be highlights at 4:30 this afternoon, so I hope you tune in to watch that. David Goldstrom on hand for that event. Women and men's ski jumping in Oslo. Well, what a season. 26 races. FOURCADE, of course, will remember for taking the world title. Svensson will remember for getting 4 wins. Don't forget the men who won for the first time. Legelik, Malishko, Moravec, all getting their first ever win. We'll see you on the 22nd of November of this year for the next World Cup.